ਹੈਲੋ ਗਾਇਸ, ਵੈਲਕਮ ਬੈਕ ਟੂ ਮਾਈ YouTube ਚੈਨਲ। ਹੋਪ ਸੋ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਠੀਕ ਹੋਵੋਗੇ ਤੇ ਸੇਫ ਹੋਵੋਗੇ। ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਮੇਰੀ ਰਿਕੁਐਸਟ ਹੈ, ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਚੈਨਲ ਨੂੰ ਸਬਸਕ੍ਰਾਈਬ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ, ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਚੈਨਲ ਨੂੰ ਸਬਸਕ੍ਰਾਈਬ ਕਰ ਲਓ ਤਾਂ ਜੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਸਟ੍ਰੇਲੀਆ ਦੀਆਂ ਲੇਟੈਸਟ ਅਪਡੇਟ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਲੈ ਸਕੋ।
On the issue of COVID, an important day today. We've gone past the halfway mark, 40% double dosed over 16s here in Australia. 40%. And the vast bulk of that has been achieved just in the last couple of months. 90% of Australians aged over 70 have had their first dose. And this week, 2 in 3 Australians right around the country aged over 16 would have had their first dose. And that continues to be driven by the strong take-up and the supply of the vaccines that are supporting the high rates of vaccination, well over 300,000 again in the most recent numbers, and we expect that to continue as these vaccination rates continue to climb. I also want to welcome the New South Wales plan to reopen. This plan keeps the deal, keeps the faith with the people of Australia and the people of New South Wales set out in the national plan. This plan supports the initiatives that are there, being driven by the safe process of opening, underwritten by the Doherty modelling and supported by the national plan. It is a careful and a safe plan and consistent with everything set out in the national plan. I commend the New South Wales Government for following through discussions I've been having with the Victorian Premier and others over some weeks now, both states in strong lockdowns, moving forward on the basis of the national plan and increasing levels of vaccination in both states. I can also tell you that I'm advised by General Fruin that by mid-October we will have had sufficient supplies delivered to Australia that would have enabled first and second doses for the Australian eligible population. Now, you'll recall that it had been our original plan that we would have achieved that by October. That was set back many months, in fact about 4 months or thereabouts. I was then able to say that we believed we could then, having with the changes we put in place in the program, we would have been able to bring that forward to before the end of the year. Well, we've continued to catch up the ground by securing those additional supplies, and we will now be in a position that we will meet that mark next month, and we'll meet it around the middle of next month. And so it really is now up for all of us, operating in a non-constrained environment on supply, to be able to go out there and get those vaccinations, and we're seeing that occur each and every day. And I particularly want to thank all of those, particularly our older population, who has done the majority of the vaccinations because that's where the vaccines were first available. We started with those most vulnerable, and it means is that we go into these higher levels of vaccination. Those most vulnerable amongst our elderly in the community are those with the highest level of vaccinations. And I'm sure they will be particularly pleased, those who are living in New South Wales, to see the plan which says if you go out and keep your side of the deal, if you go out there and you get vaccinated, you get your 2 doses, then you can expect to be living with the virus in a way that you would hope to live with the virus. No one freedom day or anything like that. That's not what the national plan does. It safely has a soft opening, easing of restrictions and taking us back to where we want to be. New South Wales has made a great big step on that today, and I commend them for the way that they've done it. We'll continue to work closely with them as we do with all states and territories. Happy to take questions.